Hello friends, I am Mukesh Kumar and welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to create page view controller. So just open Xcode and create new Xcode project. Choose single view application and give product name as page view demo. Click on next button and just create it, and then maximize this. Go to the main storyboard file, and here you will find view controller. And now this time I'm not going to delete this view controller. So next, search page view controller and drag and drop to the main storyboard like this. Instead of making this view controller as initial, I am setting the initial to page view controller. And now create a new class for this page view controller. So just press command end N button, click on this cocoa touch class, and your super class should be UI page view controller and class name is page view controller. Click next and create it. Now coming back to main storyboard, just select the page view controller and then associate the class by going to the identity inspector class, and here I will type the class name page view controller. Press enter. Now the class is associated. Next, what we need to do is we need to show the content over this view controller. So for that I'm taking image view object where the images will be displayed, and just place it over the view like this, and using this pin button just add the constraints, and that is 0 from the boundaries. Just add 4 constraints. Yeah. Next, I need to set property for this UI image view. So just click on this and select the view controller.h file. Just drag and drop to set the property, and name of the property is device images. Press enter. Now just close this and select view controller.h again, and here I'm setting two properties. One is str image, which will be used to store the image name, and second property is of NSU integer type, and name is page index, which is used to store the page index values. Now next come to .m file, and in this viewDidLoad method I'm just passing the string name, means image name, to the image object. So using self keyword I'm calling the image object name, that is device images dot image equals to UI image named, and just pass the string variable, that is str image. This is okay. Now just go to page view controller.h file. Here I'm declaring the protocol, that is UI page view controller data source. This protocol is needed just to create the page view controller, and by pressing the command button you can check its method, which is mandatory to declare, and that is these two methods. One is view controller before view controller, and next is view controller after view controller. So just come back, and in the .m file I will declare these two methods. So dash sign view controller before view controller and curly braces, and next is view controller after view controller and its curly braces. Just delete this below comment. Yeah, and don't worry about these issues, we will resolve this later on. Before declaring all this, I need to declare an array, that is ns array. Name of the array is devices, as we did in previous tutorials. Now in viewDidLoad method, I'm defining this array as square brackets, and just I'm pasting the items: iPhone, iPad, iPod touch, iMac, iWatch, like this. And now I need to import the images in assets library. So just open this, and then from my Mac I'm just importing my images, that is iMac, iPad, iTV, iPod touch, iPhone and iWatch. So just simply drag and drop into our project like this, and come back to .m file. Now I need to define one helper method, that is helper method, and this helper method is created because I want to import class members of view controller. So for that I'm creating this helper method using -9, and its return type will be UI view controller, and name of the method is view controller at index colon. Type of parameter is NSUI integer, and the name of parameter is index and its body portion. Now for creating instance for view controller, we need to import its .h file. So I'm importing this view controller.h file like this, and then I'm using the class view controller, and its instance name is view controller. Here v is small, equals to. Now I'm instantiating this view controller using self.storyboard space instantiate view controller with identifier. So for that view controller we also need to set its identifier. So just enter it, and identifier name is view controller. I'm taking same as the class name, and before going to do anything, just set this identifier name to the view controller. So click on this storyboard file, and select this view controller. In the identity inspector, storyboard ID will be the identifier. So just copy the class name and just paste it here, press enter. So now the identifier is set. Come back to page view controller.m file, and now I can access like str image and the page index declared in the view controller file. So view controller dot str image, and here I will pass array name by its index value, and view controller dot page index. In the page index I will simply pass index variable, right? And at the last I will simply return the instance of view controller. So this is our helper method, and now I'm declaring a variable name index, of type NSU integer and variable name is index equals to, I will pass here page index. So for that I need to use the class name view controller and instance name view controller, and just close this bracket from here to here dot page index, right? And then we need to return the value of this method, so just return these helper method using self keyword view controller at index and pass the variable name index. Now view controller before view controller method is responsible when you want to move your page previous to the current page. So in this case we have a situation, we have a condition, if index is equals to 0 or index is equals to not found, ns not found. So in this case I will simply return nil, means nothing should happen. Otherwise index value should be decremented by 1, so we can use minus minus operator, or you can say index equals to index minus 1, both are same. Now this is complete view controller before view controller. Now this index variable will also be needed in the second method, so just copy this and paste it here, and here also we need to return some value. So return self view controller, that is helper method view controller at index, and pass the variable name index like this. And in this case if index value is not found, means equals to ns not found, so simply return nil, means nothing should happen. Or otherwise index value should be incremented by 1, means you are moving forward to the next page. And there is one more condition, if your index value is equals to number of items present in an array, means device.count, in that case also we need to return nil, means nothing should happen. That's sorry, equals to operator, that's it. And now in the viewDidLoad function or a method we need to set data source to self. Then so self dot data source equals to self, and now I am passing the initial value of the page. So for that I'm using the view controller class name and its instance name is, let's say, initial vc, equals to calling the helper method self space view controller at index. Here I am passing the initial value, that is 0, means our page view controller will start from the page index 0 value. We need to typecast this because it is unused, just leave that. And then we need to create an array for the view controllers, because here in our case number of items will be displayed in the view controller. So for that we need to create array, and the array name will be view controllers equals to ns array with object, and object will be initial vc. And now we need to set view controllers, so self space set view controllers So here is the predefined method. Over here you can see, so just click enter on this, and self set view controller we need to pass an s array, which is we have already just defined. So view controllers direction is we are using forward direction, and animation is no in our case, and completion is nil. Here is some issue. Yeah, we need to typecast as both the types are incompatible. So I'm just typing here view controller. Yes, so this is our whole coding. Just run the project to show the output. So let's check our output. Yeah, these are the images showing on the view controller, and I'm just moving forward. So these are the images, right? And the transition style is page curl type, and the images are displaying like stretched view. So for that, come back to the project and select the page view controller, and here you can see the transition style is page curl. You can change it as scroll so that there will not be any page curl view. And by selecting this image view, you can set the content mode as aspect fit so that the images will not be stretched. So just rebuild again, and let's see the difference in the output. Yeah, now images are looking better, and when you transit, all the images are showing in a good view. And this time view controller after view controller is called means returning nil, and at the end, at the startup, this is the page index 0, and in this case view controller before view controller is called where it is returning nil, right? So hope you guys enjoyed my video, and thank you for watching. Please like this video, and don't forget to subscribe my channel. Thank you so much guys. Bye bye.